Good evening. This is the Lake Bluff School District 65 Board of Education regular meeting, October 25th, 2011. Now, can we have a roll call?
Mary Jane Brady.
Present.
Terry Carney.
Present.
Al Pfeifhouse, present. Eric Wagoner.
Present.
Leanne Charlot.
Present.
Mark Berry.
Present.
Susan Ryder.
Present. Thank you. I believe tonight we're going to begin with a presentation, and I believe our presenters are ready.
Yes, and Shelley, do you want to introduce our
I sure
esteemed
do.
group?
Good evening. I'm Shelley Overman, the elementary principal, and tonight you are going to get to see 9 of the best reasons for being at Lake Bluff Elementary School. In addition to those 9, I have 2 fabulous teachers here as well. Frances Zale is the enrichment team leader, and Katie O'Brien is one of our first grade teachers. Thanks for being here tonight, guys.
We have 9 students here to tell you about some thinking that's been happening around our pizza garden at LBES. First, we have a few students to tell you about the farmers market they ran for the teachers and students.
My name is Gregor. My name is Sanju. My name is Sam. My name is Andrew. My name is Dylan. We wanted to teach others about how to make a farmer's market. Together we wrote a book called How to Arrange a Farmer's Market at LBES. We thought about what we should sell. We decided on rosemary, chives, tomato, and basil. We had samples so kids could know what they tasted like when fresh. We cut the plants inside and we picked up the tomatoes. I was happy because I wanted to earn lots of money. We asked Mrs. Overman if we could announce about the farmer's market on the loudspeaker. We made signs. It was good that we did the announcements on the loudspeaker. We made prices by looking at real farmers market prices. It was a little hard. I felt excited. When the day came, it was totally bananas! The time had to be perfect and some people had money to buy vegetables. You had to be ready for it. I guess 200 kids came to buy chives, tomatoes, samples, basil, and more. I felt happy that we earned money for the kindergartner's garden. Total profit was $328.95. We had to pay our expenses first. Mrs. Stevenson for $10.20 for the change. Mrs. Zaya $9 for the baskets. We also felt good because we think the kindergartners will have fun planting and using the money.
Now we have another group from Mrs. O'Brien's first grade class. They wrote a book to teach their younger classmates for this coming spring.
My name is Mackenzie. My name is Elizabeth. My name is Zach. My name is Luna. We learned a lot this year about creating a garden. Care for a garden, harvest a garden, cook with the garden. We have some advice for kindergartners and whoever wants to make a garden. Our book of advice called If You Give a Kindergartner Some Seeds, it's like a book we just got from the book fair called If You Give a Dog a Donut. Here it is. About how tomatoes can be used in the garden. Our advice is to eat them as well and share with the insects and animals for food and shelter. Yes. We discovered that worms help the soil. Our advice is to make sure that you have worms to help. We found out that pumpkins grow on vines. Our advice is to grow plants that grow in different ways. We found out that there are Mr. Stripey tomatoes. Our advice is to learn about all the tomatoes that aren't just red. We discovered that green beans are a fruit. Our advice is to be open about learning something new. We learned that peppers are a fruit. Our advice is to do research about the seeds and seedlings that you plant. We found out that tomatoes can be shaped like pears. Our advice is to ask our teacher to buy different types of tomatoes to grow. We found out that there are different colors and with fruit. Our advice is to grow different colors. We wondered how tall the sunflowers would grow. Our advice is to help them grow tall by giving them plenty of water and sunshine. We wondered how many vegetables were in the garden. Our advice is to look, smell, taste, touch, and listen all around the garden. We wonder how carrots would grow from seed. Our advice is to let them grow huge. Don't pick them too soon. We found out animals live in the soil. Our advice is to bring a shovel to dig around. We found out that insects live in the garden. Our advice is to not kill them. We enjoy to need for our pizza. We enjoyed harvesting the vegetables. Our advice is to taste them all and cook them all. We enjoyed all the veggies and fruits. Our advice is to not be afraid to try something new. We discovered that you can grow both fruit and vegetables in the LBES courtyard. Our advice is to grow many different kinds of things. We enjoyed making the pizza with Chef John from Novacia and Wisma. Our advice is to listen to advice is to share with others. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Any questions from the board about the presentation or the pizza garden, or?
I have one question.
Sure.
Have you guys already been working with the kindergartners about their garden for next year and about their pizzas?
We've already shared it with them,
And what'd they say?
Oh, they like the pizzas.
yeah, we made them when we were in kindergarten.
Okay,
I'm in first grade, but we started to grow them at the end of kindergarten.
okay, very good.
So,
Very
thank you
good.
very much.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
You're welcome to stay for the entire meeting, or if you'd like to go home.
And catch us on television.
Your homework?
Right after SpongeBob.
If you're leaving, we'll give you a couple of minutes.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Here to say, how much did they say they made? I forget the profit, what she said. They're actually selling them at the,
Mrs. Stevenson is holding the money. I thought I heard that.
Yeah, and then the two younger ones are waiting their turn. Yeah, I got one. Yeah. Boy, he loves it. Loves it. Oh, he loves it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Day in the life.
okay. Ready?
All right, Kate, you ready for, do you have a report? Oh, okay.
Hello. This is the PTO report for October. I'll start with the Pumpkin Fest. We had a record number of people come out for the pumpkin chase. 242 ran the 5K and 280 ran the 1 mile fun run. And for the chase, it was a record year in raising funds as well. With the fest and the chase combined, numbers are still coming in, but we raised about $20,000. Wow. So, and I think it was a great event. We ran out of pumpkins, ran out of all kinds of stuff, so it was well attended and a lot of fun. The directory went out this week. 1 copy went to every household. If anyone needs extra copies, they're available in the offices at both schools for $5. The Fabulous Fall fundraiser, if you ordered any items from that, the distribution is tomorrow, October 26th at LBES, 2:30 to 7 p.m. We've launched this year's spiritware items in the web store. I was hoping to bring some today, but I wasn't able to grab them. But there are some really great Lake Bluff items that have established in 1895. There's a gorgeous fleece blanket with the gazebo embroidered on it, so check it out. I think there's a lot of items that the community would enjoy as well. That sale runs through November 18th, and again, that's in the web store, which is at lb65.org/PTO. Yearbooks are also on sale for both LBES and LBMS. Those are also available in the web store for purchase until November 15th. We have launched our enrichment programs for the year with the Spirit of the Eagle that we have every year for the first graders. That was on October 17th. Here's a little blurb that Emily Lane wrote up. The children sat on skins and blankets around a 16-foot teepee while learning about the buffalo and its role in native life. They got to see how the buffalo parts, bladders, stomach, skin, and horns were fashioned into tools, toys, and everyday items. The presentation taught the children important values such as respect, tradition, and generosity. The children were amazed by the Native American culture and asked many questions. One student asked, "Where is your family?" thinking that John Jordan lived in the teepee with his family. John replied while discussing his Native American background and modern life. The program concluded with the children learning how to say thank you in the Lakota language, which I'll probably butcher, but Philamamaye. I know, too, that the other classrooms, as many of the other teachers took their kids down to the teepee and got to look at it. My fifth graders came home talking about it again. So another great thing that we have back every year. And it plays into the Time Travelers, which is coming up on November 21st, also for first graders. And this is where they they go through kind of a day in the life, or try to experience the life of the Wampanoags, the Native Americans. The next enrichment presentation will be on November 22nd, and this is Mr. Smarty Pants Mousetrap Machine Show. And this focuses on the 5 simple machines that the kids have to learn in Illinois and other states in K through 5. And those 5, in case you didn't know, are wheels, levers, pulleys, screws, and inclined planes. And so they, with balloons, they build a mousetrap using those 5 different simple machines. And lastly, North Shore Distillery has partnered with us. They've chosen 3 charities to focus on from October to March, and one of them is the Lake Bluff PTO. So if you go there for a tour and pay for the tour or purchase anything there, you will receive a token, and you can choose to put it in the Lake Bluff PTO jar. So thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Great support. Moving on to the interim superintendent report, a couple of things. One, the chiller meeting that we referenced at last week's board meeting will be tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. And we hope to maybe get everything done tomorrow. I don't know. That might be too ambitious, but be able to bring a recommendation to the board, hopefully at one of the 2 meetings next month. At your place tonight, Jane put, or I think Liz put, I'll get to yours in a minute, Jane. Liz put some pictures from an accident that happened over the weekend at the middle school where some cabinets fell off the wall. And Jane, anything you want to add about that?
Just that our maintenance guys have reinstalled them with extra long bolts, reinforced them. And there's another room with similar cabinetry. They've gone in and reinforced those cabinets as well. And these have been there since, I believe, the mid-'80s. So this is not new work or anything.
It didn't happen during class.
And they just chose to fall.
Yeah, I'm sure
Tremor?
they're probably getting loose, and they're all bolted together, the cabinets are bolted together, so I'm sure one came out and then it
It's
kind of
loose,
pulled
yeah.
the rest of them. I'm sure that I didn't witness it, but we believe that's how it happened.
Another thing that Jane put at your place tonight was the summary of House Bill 3793, and I asked her to just take a moment to update the board about what that is all about, because it has potential for significant impact not only on this district, but a number of taxing bodies in the state.
This is a bill that I just learned about last Friday, actually, at an IASBO regional meeting, and it was actually the first time many of us school business managers had heard about it, and since that time, all day yesterday, there's been a lot of emails going around back and forth between various school districts. Legislators have been contacted, but basically what the bill introduces is that's a zero, should our EAV decline, as it has the last 3 years, then basically our extensions for that year are going to be a 0 increase, is how I understand it. This would be especially devastating to those of us who are in flat grant districts who don't really get state aid, but we depend on our property taxes. This would drastically affect our ability to increase our tax revenues and actually would stop that. It went to Finance Committee today. I know there was testimony being made by a couple of IASBO member leaders in the organization. I will hope and I assume people from IASA, meaning superintendents, will have testified as well. But there's been a big campaign among school district administration to contact our legislators to tell them this is an awful bill and encourage our representatives to vote no. But it's our understanding that this is moving very quickly. They were trying to get it under the radar and get this bill passed very quickly. So we're trying to stop it. That's what I know today.
Questions? I mean, it would really significantly restrict revenue enhancement for all taxing bodies. And as Jane pointed out, with school districts that are flat grant districts, it's like you don't have hardly any increase of revenue then.
And if I am interpreting this to mean that our extension simply cannot increase, then we would have, if this would pass, this would cost us over $250,000 in property tax revenues this next year. We'd see no increase. But yet, we're bound by ever-increasing costs with various contracts and things like that. It's not a good bill.
Have bills like this been proposed in the past? Is this unusual?
No.
No, not one like
No.
this.
And this is only affecting tax cap districts. If you're not capped and not under that challenge, you're not affected. So if you're already capped and under the challenge of tax caps, then you now would have to deal with this in a declining EAV situation, which again, we've witnessed for 3 years. We hope it doesn't happen again for another 100 years, but it's not a well thought out plan, but many of our bills aren't. They are knee-jerk reactions to certain situations. Sorry, editorializing.
Any other questions relative to that? Thank you, Jane.
Would we know when this is either alive or?
You're in the fall
Well,
veto session right now, and it goes
Right.
fast.
they can bring it to a vote pretty quickly, is my understanding, and hopefully today with testimony, we're hoping maybe in committee it gets stopped, but I don't know. It's got legs, we know that.
Yeah, we should know something by next week's board meeting, so we'll keep our eye on it. A couple of other things under my report. Reminder that next week's Committee of the Whole meeting is a week from tonight, so there's not much time in between. One of the things that we will probably have on that agenda is we will have our architect present to talk about the item that was on last week's meeting relative to the elementary school and the LEED certification. So we'll try and bring you those folks to provide that information. We're also in the process of setting up our calendar committee to develop our school calendar for the 11-12 school year. We'll be bringing that to you later this fall. 12-13, what did I say, 11-12?
I think that's it.
This is 11-12, 12-13. Finally, I want to thank you for, taking time today to meet with the consultants from the search firm. Some of you have some time tomorrow. I didn't have a chance to talk to them to find out what the turnout was, but I'm hoping it was good because this is an important stage in soliciting information from the community to help with that leadership profile. So that being said, that is all I have as part of my report.
Ben, there are some sessions tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
If anyone's listening.
Yes.
The ones for the community, there's one for the community tomorrow, an open session tomorrow.
Yeah, do you know what time that is, Liz?
It's tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening?
And it's on the website, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Ann, I know you had some things you wanted to add?
Yeah, just a couple things, basically on emotional wellness. As you know, the Charm Foundation has supported the district, and we have paid for part of their service, but they've made, help us make inroads in the areas of emotional wellness. Both buildings are fully participating with Charmed, and both buildings actually had the Charmed coach with the principals facilitate half-day workshops with their team from their building to move forward in supporting all areas of emotional wellness, which is pretty exciting to have that done already by this date in October. That's a big improvement from the past year, so it just takes a little while to get everything moving, but really in a nice, positive direction, and the teams are generating great ideas and exciting events. I want to share the an emotional wellness brochure with you because it's going to be, it's available for parents. It's not pushed on anybody. It provides ideas for parents, talks about the pondering points, talks about community involvement, sessions coming up. Our charm coach will be facilitating a session for parents with issues related to what we're talking about in the school district and emotional wellness of our students. And that'll be announced at a future board meeting. But this just gives a snapshot of what's coming up, gives a variety of websites for parents to access, and just some kind of little bits of information in a short, concise manner.
Thank you. Board President?
I had just a couple of things.
Okay.
First of all, I did want to say congratulations and thank you to the Pumpkin Fest and Pumpkin Chase chairs, Christina Mills, Stacy Salanti, and Rich Martin. It was a great weekend, and not only was it a good fundraiser, but it's a good fundraiser for our community. So thank you to the PTO and to those three in particular. Also, we're happy to have been asked this year by Mother's Trust Foundation to help with the coat drive. So both of our school buildings do have boxes. If anybody would like to donate to that to help our neighbors who are in need of some winter clothing, they're looking for coats, hats, mittens, scarves, anything for winter wear in child and adult sizes, and that runs through Halloween, I think. So, and then the last thing is I hope that we'll see everybody this weekend at the Lake Bluff History Museum's fall event. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and obviously it benefits a good cause, which is to preserve our history and artifacts of Lake Bluff. So we'll see you all there on Saturday.
Very good. Okay. One other thing I forgot in my report, if you're still interested as a board member in going to the Fall School Board Conference, we can still get you in to attend that. So if you're interested and your schedule has changed, let Liz know and we'll hook you up for that. It is a worthwhile conference. That being finished, we'll move on to action items. First one is personnel recommendations.
I move that the Board of Education approves the personnel recommendations per the attached.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, vote.
Mary Jane Brady?
Yes?
Terry Carney?
Yes.
Al Fivehouse? Yes. Eric Wagoner?
Yes.
Leanne Charlot?
Yes.
Mark Berry?
Yes.
Susan Ryder?
Yes.
Second item, approval of special ed support staff.
I move that the Board of Education approves an additional special needs aide at 1.0 FTE at the middle school for the 2011-2012 school year.
Second.
Any discussion?
How does this compare to prior years? Are we staffed at this similar levels year after year?
The actual number of assistants at the middle school has declined in the years that I've been here. It's always based on the number of students who have special needs. And this year at the middle school, we have 3 students with disabilities significant enough to require one-to-one assistance. So that kind of tips the balance of support for the rest of the students.
So we were able to start the school year, determine what the needs were, and then make the decision after we could assess.
Right.
Exactly. We tried to adjust the staffing pattern and schedules, and we determined it really wasn't enough to support the needs, so.
And I think as we talked about the last meeting, we are doing an analysis at the elementary school, and we may come back to the board to visit the needs of that building.
Good.
Okay, roll call vote.
Eric Wagoner? Yes. Leanne Charlot?
Yes.
Mark Berry?
Yes.
Susan Ryder?
Yes.
Mary Jane Brady?
Yes?
Terry Carney?
Yes.
Al Fivehouse? Yes.
Okay, moving on to C, approval of audit for FY 2011.
I move that the Board of Education approves the audit for fiscal year 2011 as presented.
Second.
Discussion, if any? Okay, vote please.
Leanne Charlot?
Yes.
Eric Wagoner?
Yes.
Al Fivehouse? Yes. Terry Carney?
Yes.
Mary Jane Brady?
Yes.
Susan Ryder?
Yes.
Mark Berry?
Yes.
D, approve the disposal of surplus equipment.
I move that the Board of Education approve the disposal of surplus technology equipment as per the attachment.
Second?
Any discussion?
I was just surprised that we actually have to approve something like that when the assets are probably fully depreciated and worthless, but if that's the rules, that's the rules.
Those are the rules.
Talked about artifacts earlier, Mary Jane, there may be a few in there.
Where's the History Museum when we need them?
They like them.
So we do need a vote.
Terry Carney.
Yes.
Mary Jane Brady.
Yes.
Susan Ryder.
Yes.
Mark Berry.
Yes.
Leanne Charlot.
Yes.
Eric Wagner.
Yes.
Al Pfeifhaus, yes.
Okay, E, approve contract for snow removal.
I move that the Board of Education approves the contract with Rogers Nursery for snow removal for the 2011-12 season with the option to renew for one subsequent year.
Second.
Any further discussion?
No, it's pretty obvious from the information that Jane provided that they were certainly the lowest bidder, and we've had good history with them, so it makes sense to move forward with them.
Right. Okay, we need a vote.
Eric Wagner.
Yes.
Leanne Charlot.
Yes.
Mark Berry.
Yes.
Susan Ryder.
Yes.
Mary Jane Brady.
Yes.
Terry Carney.
Yes.
Al Pfeifhaus, abstain.
And just a reminder to the audience that maybe is not here, the board had full discussion on all of these items at the committee of the whole meeting, and that's just a good reminder, because on many of these, there's not much discussion this evening, as there shouldn't be, unless some things have come up. So I just want to remind people that even though we're moving fast through these, there was full discussion at the committee of the whole meeting. Which takes us to F, policy approval. 2.10, Board of Education Committees.
I move that the Board of Education approves Board Policy 2:150, Board of Education Committees as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I guess all we have to do is figure out who actually sits on those committees.
Which we will do soon.
Don't look the other way, Terry.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll vote on that.
Terry Carney.
Yes.
Mary Jane Brady.
Yes.
Susan Ryder.
Yes.
Mark Berry.
Yes.
Leanne Charlot.
Yes.
Eric Wagner.
Yes.
Al Pfeifhaus, yes.
G, policy approval, 5:125, personal technology and social media usage and conduct.
I move that the Board of Education approves Board Policy 5:125, personal technology and social media usage and conduct as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? One of the things I will point out to the board is that because this policy, if adopted by the board in the action that you are about to take, we will delay implementation until there has been proper discussion with the union relative to change in working conditions, because this is a policy which would impact that. And so I want it on record that the implementation of this policy will not occur until those discussions have occurred. And I did have a preliminary discussion with the union president today, and we will have some subsequent discussion and then come back to you. Any other discussion on the policy?
I think it was well-written, and I appreciate all the time and effort you put into it.
No, I appreciate all the help that you all provided, because I think it's a very good policy, and the procedures that accompany it, I think, will be good for the board and the staff. So we need a vote.
Al Pfeifhaus, yes. Eric Wagner.
Yes.
Leanne Charlot.
Yes.
Mark Berry.
Yes.
Susan Ryder.
Yes.
Mary Jane Brady.
Yes.
Terry Carney.
Yes.
Okay, policy approval 6:262, tutoring services and use of school facilities and materials. I would request that the board not take action on this policy tonight, as I had a discussion with the attorney about a half hour before the meeting, and I apologize for such late discussion, but there are some concerns that the attorney had relative to omission of information on that policy as it pertains to special education students. So we'll bring that back to you either on next Tuesday or on the 15th with that added language.
Do we need to do anything to formally remove it from the agenda, or we just don't act upon it?
Just don't act upon it. Which takes us to I, possible action as a result of closed session. There was no closed session this evening, so there is no action, which then takes you to the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the following items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Discussion. Okay, the items on the consent agenda are the regular meeting minutes, September 27, closed session meeting minutes, September 27, budget hearing minutes from September 27, special meeting minutes, September 29, special meeting minutes, October 19, destruction of closed session tapes for March 23, 2010, P-card report, bills payable report, treasurer's report, and activity reports. Okay? Vote.
Susan Ryder.
Yes.
Mark Berry.
Yes.
Leanne Charlotte.
Yes.
Eric Wagoner.
Yes.
Al Pfeifhaus, yes. Terry Carney.
Yes.
Mary Jane Brady.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to new business. We do not have any items under new business this evening, which takes us to old business, and we don't have any items under old business this evening. I promise you that next meeting and the meeting after that might not be absent of those, but tonight there aren't. So that takes you to adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There being none?